August 26th through the 28th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hotep Nation Weekend. The world will never be the same. Get your tickets and be a part of the first ever Hotep Nation Weekend. Hotep Nation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to spread the philosophy of hard work and self-care, will be hosting a weekend in Vegas with live podcasts, panels, pool party, and much more. Exclusive meet and greets with major figures in the Hotep community, including Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, President Doe Dudes, and other special guests. Network and build bridges in the Hotep community. Enjoy Vegas with a cool group of people. All of this can be found at the Hotep Nation Convention. So who is this for? Are you looking to build up your community? This is for you. Are you looking to expand business opportunities? This is for you. Are you looking for an opulent time with nation builders? This is for you. Hotep Nation's first annual convention in Las Vegas, this August 26th through the 28th. All information can be found in the description below. You won't want to miss this. August 26th through the 28th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hotep Nation Weekend. The world will never be the same. Get your tickets and be a part of the first ever Hotep Nation Weekend. Hotep Nation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to spread the philosophy of hard work and self-care, will be hosting a weekend in Vegas with live podcasts, panels, pool party, and much more. Exclusive meet and greets with major figures in the Hotep community, including Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, President Doe Dudes, and other special guests. Network and build bridges in the Hotep community. Enjoy Vegas with a cool group of people. All of this can be found at the Hotep Nation Convention. So who is this for? Are you looking to build up your community? This is for you. Are you looking to expand business opportunities? This is for you. Are you looking for an opulent time with nation builders? This is for you. Hotep Nation's first annual convention in Las Vegas, this August 26th through the 28th. All information can be found in the description below. You won't want to miss this.
$29 degrees, wind chill of 15, Central Park, Jianchor Challenge. I see you, Ant. I see you, Chad. Woo! Breathe.
What's up, people? Hotep Jesus. We back with another Jianchor conversation. I'm your host, Hotep Jesus. It was good to be here. We're back for our second to last episode of the Jianchor project here on this channel. We're evolving, we're growing, and new things are on the horizon. So stay tuned for those juicy details. Shout out to Michael Metroke 4. Appreciate you, homie. Today, our wonderful all-star cast is consisted of, as I move them around, in the top left-hand corner, our luxurious, most coveted interview extraordinaire, CEO and founder of the Waste of Talent podcast, Jonesy's in the building. Y'all make sure y'all make some noise for Jonesy.
Thank you, brother.
Make sure y'all check out Waste of Talent podcast. Next up, we got the young baller. What do y'all call him on the podcast? Come on, son. What did y'all say?
Sit down, son.
Sit down, son. And he said, what was the other one? Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
So we got one of the young boys here. Semi-pro athlete, basketball, CEO and founder of financiallight.co in the building. We got Aunt Bailey. That's the most baby. Then we got my man, 100 grand. Never going grandstand. Co-founder, and I can't even say co-founder. I should say co-host of Aquarian Anarchy, the anarchist podcast. So beware. They talk about everything from Mark is getting into some crazy shit sometimes. If we talk about Kabbalah and Aleister Crowley, and then they talk about, obviously government issues. We got Chad Lemoyne in the building, y'all. Oh yeah. And if you watched the intro, which I'm sure you have, in the intro, a few months ago we had a fitness challenge, and one individual was simply just killing it. There was no competition. The next person behind him wasn't even close. This guy really, showed his support and really showed his character, backing us up in that giveaway. Just joined the team, Matt Sinikowski.
Thank you, gentlemen. Jianchor. Happy to be here.
Yes, indeed. Welcome aboard.
Oh, baby. Matt, welcome. We're going to start out with you today. We want to know, who are you? What exactly is it that you do?
Thanks for having me, buddy. Appreciate you having me on the platform. First of all, can we say, and I listened last week, your boy Chad down there was your first white friend. I'd like to remind you right now, you're outnumbered 3-2. I'm going to have to start calling you Coach K, buddy. You're recruiting all the white, all-American, McDonald all-Americans. You're not this is not gonna land in the community.
I love it.
We are trickling and infiltrating Hotep Nation.
I'm just going to call Bobby Hurley right now because I don't want to be Christian Leitner.
But yeah, dude. So thanks for having me. Your boy Aunt Bailey over here, semi-pro ball, reached out to me. I got into the Twitter game very late, a couple of years ago, 18 months ago. You were one of my first follows, obviously, with your large platform and how interactive your community actually is.
Yeah, they are.
You really build friends, you really build network, you really build relationships. And me and Aunt just got talking, and we both have a hoops background, we both have coaching background, fitness background. I've been in the sports industry for the past 10 to 15 years. I've worked with the Boston Bruins, Madison Square Garden, Fox Sports, now with the WWE and the McMahon family. So, and then on the side, I've been coaching and working personal training with people I'm a few years removed for the game, but now just kind of getting back into it as a personal passion. And that seems to be kind of where you guys are hitting. So it's cool to be a part of the platform. And me and my sister started a podcast called The Body Movement. The body is an acronym built on developing yourself. So, just like Hotep build, shut up and code, all that good shit, kind of build yourself. And my sister being a physical therapist, me with my former healthcare background, we're trying to take the healthcare system out of the equation and use it only as necessary,
Why?
Because Big Pharma took it over, dude. God
damn. Whoa, wait, wait, hold on now.
Easy. You need to have some screeching tires when somebody does something like that.
Hold on now.
You got a screeching
making these
tire
wild claims. You two, I do not know this guy. He's a guest on this show.
Right. No wonder I got so many little views in our first 5 episodes. That's all me and my sister been talking about.
This man that turned into T.I. when they caught him on Punk with the guns in his head. He said, "Mister, please get these bullets out of my hand."
Real talk. So rephrase that for me one more time. You said.
So what we want to say is that the institutions that are built on providing us the best care for ourselves do not always have our best interest at hand. And
there are some flaws with their
there
program.
are some flaws, and we'd like to point them out. And we'd like to point them out by teaching people how to take care of yourself, how to move your body. So being a physical therapist on my sister's side, we're focused on the primal movements of the body, the way the body was supposed to move. And we'll be doing a series of demonstrations. We'll be talking about common injuries. Back pain is the #1 disability worldwide. It's a $100 billion industry. Somebody's got a problem with it. Regardless of the censoring that I just went through, that there is a problem with the opiate crisis in America. So we want, pain pills are, just taking over. They're the automatic first solution often prescribed to people. So we want to teach people through my sister's curriculum, through my experience being in the health and wellness field, of how to take that out of the equation, how you can actually overcome, get off meds, avoid surgery, get stronger, and have a long life in any stage of life you're in, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a recovering mother from pregnancy, or whether you're an elderly person just trying to get back and be able to still enjoy life like you did back in your 40s and 50s. So I'm trying to provide that curriculum, and then host a series of guests, just like you guys do on Hotep Nation, culturally, pointing out maybe some flaws in other institutions and other people that are problem solving the way we're trying to solve for the healthcare flaws. We're trying to touch people. And so I know you've had Coach Felicia's in your network. We had her as a guest, just a problem solver, somebody building from the ground up, tackling a huge institution. We're trying to do the same thing. And hopefully we can bring some blog posts to the Jianchor platform on a bi-monthly basis, and just kind of let it rip from there, buddy.
That's that's awesome. Flaws. You mentioned some flaws with the current system of health. What are some of these flaws or vulnerabilities that you found that maybe, I think one of the things you mentioned was slow down? It slows things down or speed things up. What's happening there?
Yeah, so the major flaw we want to get into is people are they're going to the doctor. It's a lot of psychological shit we're going to be talking about. So we did a whole episode on nocebos, which is the opposite of a placebo. And this is something that doctors with good intention, even the ones with the best intention and the best training, the way they can fuck you up just by saying things like, oh, you're going to have surgery in 12 months. That implants that right in your head. There's nothing that you can do to derail it. And so just the language of making people understand, when you go into that doctor's office, when you're sitting down from a health professional, even if they have your best interest at hand, they didn't get trained in the soft skills. They're not business people. They're not customer service reps. So they're not going to talk to you. They're going to talk to you from a place of authority, which they do have, but they're not going to know how to put it down on your terms and provide you with the array of options that you need. And it's going to lead you down to the most expensive option in the healthcare field, which is recurring prescriptions and or surgery. So that's where we're just kind of trying to teach people, don't get discouraged when you're meeting with those professionals. Seek out more resources, do your own research. Look, there's a ton, just on Instagram and Twitter alone, there's enough people in the health and wellness field that provide you at least with access to the right information on stuff you can do to prolong a surgery, to avoid it fully. My sister's already got stories of people that were dead set for surgery. Within 6 weeks, she had them deadlifting 150 pounds. And we're talking like 35-year-old mothers that just, have been crippled for years. So just by teaching them what you can do and planting new language in your head and a positive outlook on, let's focus on what you can do, not what you can't do, not where you hurt. That's kind of how the healthcare system is flawed right now, amongst many other things.
It sounds like you're talking about subconscious conditioning and auto-suggestion.
Big time. Yeah.
Are you saying that how we think affects our health, sir?
I'm saying that the mind-body connection might actually have some merit to it.
You sound like an ancient Chinese master.
I am
sounds
not
like
familiar
Eastern.
with the
It sounds like
scriptures.
this. Your approach sounds very Eastern medicine-like.
Well, my approach is just trial and error.
It sounds very Hotep, sir.
You led me down the road. You trapped me, you son of a bitch.
It sounds very Hotepish there, Matt. You're saying that how people talk to their patients, what they implant in their subconscious mind, could affect their health in the future. For example, if somebody walks in and they say, hey, you got the Ebola, you got 6 months to live, you're saying the doctor could possibly be giving this person a death sentence when they don't need to.
Possibly, or just demotivate that person to take any action that might extend their chance for a quality outcome. So yeah, even in the practical sense, that it's just a demotivating factor. For those of there who might not believe in that mind-body connection, so to speak, just demotivating people to not take any action or seek out any other resource.
Before we went live, you mentioned how in your field, in your new practice, you no longer have to deal with the insurance companies. Now, there's pros and cons to that. Can you walk us through the pros and cons of maybe give us some insight into what happens in the health industry that insurance can complicate?
Yeah. Well, the first thing they can do is they don't reimburse at the full price that a physician would charge.
Okay.
So this incentivizes the COO of a practice to come in and look at the metrics and say, we need to get more patients. We need to get more people in here. Well, if you can't get more people, you can get them coming back more. You can get the ones that are already there coming back as a recurring customer. So you can order a test, and then you test something and you see something on an image that doesn't look right, but that's not why they were there. So let's investigate that more and let's get some lab work. And before you know it, that you're a recurring customer, you're in the cycle, and you're looking for things that might not even be there, or things like back pain, for instance. If you're looking for a herniated disc, as my sister said in our back pain episode, 80 to 85% of us probably have a quote unquote herniated disc by the letter of the law, by the letter of the way it would be, diagnosed on an image. So when somebody sees that and they never knew it, and they walked in there and they were feeling well, now the doctor tells you that, and now you're scared to do things. Now you're scared to go and lift weights, and you start compromising. You start doing exercises in a way that you're overcompensating. You're not doing things with the correct form, and you're actually making other parts of your body hurt more by overcompensating, not doing things correctly. All of a sudden you're in this loop. So the cons of that system, of the established system, are they can get you being a recurring customer by looking and mining for problems, because that's what they're trained to do. Mind you, pharmaceutical reps, get your sensor ready, are in there twice a week buying lunch for the physicians, subconsciously planting in their brain, next time you see a patient and they say this to you, we got the fix right here. So they're not looking for a way to build habits with people. They're not willing to true prevention. They're not trying to educate. So those are the major cons. So you either have to get a ton of patients in there, or you have to get the patients in there that might not have anything wrong coming back time and time and time after again. So in the new system where my sister is now cash-based, you can go in there. She can see you for 90 minutes. Think about when you go into a doctor's office, you're in there for 10 minutes. Nurse comes in, she takes your weight. Doctor comes in 5 minutes, triple booked. He's got 2 more patients in the room. He check. Come back in 6 weeks. You didn't even talk to him. He doesn't even know what's going on. So with her, she does 90-minute deep evaluations. You find out there's a lot of psychological issues with patients. She finds out that they had an injury 5 years ago that they forgot about, but they never brought that up because they never had the chance to talk to their doctor about that. So she will build in that kind of system. Now she can build a comprehensive program, not just around your blown out knee, but about strengthening your whole body and taking care of you. So it's systems like this, in whether it be physical therapy or whether it be some Eastern medicine or whether it be diet and nutrition. People that are outside of the system have way more freedom to explore and find root causes for this. The cons to that are you have to pay out of pocket, and people need to get conditioned. Maybe you get what you pay for. So That's the kind of dynamic we're living in, and we're trying to illustrate to people that you have options. It's just how much are you willing to either pay in time or money for it to get to the best possible outcomes for yourself.
Matt Sinikowski, everyone.
Can I ask you a question, or you got something else you were following up with?
It's your world, Chad. It's your world,
All
Chad.
right.
Do you think?
All right. So you speak about this like this is a system that's kind of it's like a cloud, like a shroud of all this extra stuff that we've been conditioned into.
Yeah.
What was it in your sister and in yourself that where did that little peak of light come from? How did you find your way out of that?
Are we allowed to talk about the pandemic in the past 18 months?
We can talk about it, but we got to talk around it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, look, it was 2 years ago that career-wise, culturally, I went through a huge merger between Fox and Disney, and I saw a lot of through institutions, people's lives that thought they were like loyal to their home companies kind of get displaced. So I saw people being attached to the corporate system, and 30 years they've been working there, and all of a sudden the big merger comes along and the company tossed them to the side, and they didn't know what to do with their lives. They couldn't believe it, right? They couldn't believe that they weren't being offered a chance to stay with the company. They're getting cut out. So that opened my eyes to institutional, just the way that we can be used as just a cog in the wheel. Around that time, the pandemic comes along, and my sister who has been in her system, has been pushing for a raise because she had made her physical therapy practice the most profitable, either in her state or in her region. But they didn't have the money. They needed more patients. They needed more output. And so she finally said she'd been getting recruited by a guy who is doing what she's doing now. Just like, come work with me. He's like, it's bigger. There's more upside, but there's a lot of risk early on. There's a lot of ramp up time. You got to build your own patient base. We got to recruit our own people. So she said, fuck it, around the same time I said, fuck it. When people were either trying to, nip at the powers at the Fox and Disney merger, I said, I'm out. I don't want to be a part of this, and went out and did my own thing for 2 years. She was doing her own thing. I was like, we should talk about this. We should bring this thought process. We're taking care of ourselves. We're outside the system now. You're helping more people. You have better success stories in this. And then also it's a good recruiting tool for her, right? Like as we put out more curriculum, she'll be able to point patients to this. It will sit there in perpetuity. So it was watching that, and then Corona hit, where we saw people relying on listening to the authorities at all costs, and not doing anything with hydration, vitamin D, take your zinc, run, get some sunshine. Like there was no official campaigns from the authorities on any of that shit. It was mentioned, it was not pushed. It was just like, stay home and then wait for the 1-2. So that's where like we need to be a voice of reason, that you can use the system when it's there to absolutely be needed, but to take care of your best self, there's curriculum out there, and there's ideas, and there's methodologies, and there's philosophies that can get people feeling better. So we just want to try and make that small dent in the world, the way you guys are trying to build this up and be a part of your platform. So that's kind of like where the epiphany hit. It was like a three-legged approach there to things that were happening in our career, and kind of what was going on in society, and the way we saw people looking for quick fixes on their own, and relying on others or relying on authorities to save them. And it's like, you can do this stuff on your own if you put in the time and effort. So
you got to save yourself, right?
That's it.
We don't look at, as a country, we don't really look at what the cause of all of this is, and what the sum total to all these actions really are. The money is not in the cure, it's in the treatment. You know, and it's always been that way. You know what I mean? You know, if you cure a disease, then you lose a customer.
Money's in the
that's never been the motivation from the start, you know, and now we have COVID, and we got to look, well, not COVID, but the stupid 19s. I'm sorry. We have to look at the cause of all of this. Why? Where is it coming from? Why is it around? Why is it still around? Why is there a variant? What is the cause of all of this?
Right.
That's what we need to start looking at as a society.
Yeah. And as we talk about on our podcast, like, there was also a lack of training in the healthcare field, where it takes 10 to 20 years for research that's been proven that actually works to actually be implemented and make it to market, because the institutions are so big and so tall to get in, to teach them something new and then actually have them implement that new practice that might actually work can take up to a decade. So, you know, right now somebody's discovering something that might help your back pain. It won't be till 2030 before doctors are actively pushing that remedy to their patients at scale, if they're doing it at all.
Wouldn't need be the motivator of doing a paradigm shift quickly. You know, a lot of times they have to go through certain standards to totally approve a certain treatment, but the need dictated for things to move quicker. Yeah. So, like, at this point, what exactly, you know, is the measuring stick now? So are they going to continue to push things through now and shoehorn things into our society based off of need and filing under the guise of doing the right thing? Or are we going to go back to the way of, like, the tried and true way of, you know, testing things out, you know, having trials and go, you know what I mean? Is that something that's a thing of the past now?
I think it's a thing of the past. I think the awakening has been happening now. Like, you know, a lot of things in 2016, people started waking up to a lot of shit. And I think this was one of them, healthcare being one of them, and taking care of yourself. So, last episode, we actually had Deepak Chopra's chief medical officer on our podcast.
Wow. That's a big get.
Yeah, she was
I thought
great.
you were about to tell me you had Deepak Chopra's next door neighbor's brother's cousin on.
No. Nah, man, I've been around enough to have a little network, but yeah. So she came on, and, you know, I asked her basically your same question, because, you know, with Deepak, you know, obviously they're talking Ayurvedic diets and natural ways of living, and you know, matching the seasonality of meats and vegetables and what's in season, and changing that with your circadian rhythm and timing your meals, you know, tried and true stuff for centuries. And I was asking the same thing, like, what do we need? Do we need better educated doctors? Do we need to revamp the system more? And she said, we need, we basically need data translators. The way that pharmaceutical reps come in and buy doctors lunch twice a week at their practices to pitch them the latest findings and research. She goes, that machine is well oiled and off and running. She's like, we need these people coming in, presenting this research to us so that that's implanted in our head. We need more of those people. So I don't know if it's happening, Jonesy, but I think that's more of the solution, because the solves are being discovered in laboratories, in testing and trials. They're just not making it to market because they don't know how to monetize that yet. Right? Because like you said, the money's in the money. Like, if we get better, they don't know how to monetize that yet. And there is, by the way, like, the health and wellness industry is a multi-billion dollar industry, worldwide spend. So people are seeking it out. So it's there to be had. They just need to figure out how to maybe put in a health coach into practice, put in a lifestyle coach into practice. Have an Eastern medicine division that just presents options to people, and you can bill for that. Like, I think that's where it's got to go. Otherwise, people are going to do what my sister's doing, just breaking away from the system.
Yeah. I mean, Hotep once said, the solution to the problem, the solution to the problem is in the problem, or it's in the solution.
The solution to the problem lies within the problem, so therefore there is no problem.
Yeah. There is no problem, right?
Right.
I fucked that all up. I butchered that. But,
he was close though.
Yeah.
But
I think that was a Rogan quote.
Yeah, it was.
I said that on Rogan, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but you know what? When you really look at it, man, most of the issues that we're facing, health wise in this country, there's not one way to kind of attack that. I think it's a triple pronged attack, and the media, and the internet. What you have is you'll have somebody that comes with a holistic kind of a viewpoint, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that might not work. You know what I mean? And sometimes you might need science, you might need medicine, you might need chemo, things of that nature.
Yep.
But it's not like there's less validity to one or the other. It all depends on the person.
Yeah. We talk about that all, especially with again, I'll keep coming back to back pain because it's so prevalent, but the same person with the same demographic, the same height and body weight that has the same ailment might take a different, 100% different rehab journey than the next person if they're in the right system. That, like, for instance, outside of the system with my sister, because she's going to do a deep analysis, find out, well, even though you have that herniated disc, there's issues with what's going on with your ankles. There's issues with your shoulders too, that we got to get this thing working as one unit versus just treating that part of your back that you're thinking about. So that lock and key, it's a lock and key system, dude. It's one
because your lifestyle dictates your condition. 100%. You can have a person that's the same height, same weight, same age and everything that sits behind a desk every day. And that could be the reason why he has a back problem. And you can also have a person who's the same age, everything, uses a jackhammer for a living.
That's right.
His pain, the source of his pain comes from another source. So you have to treat that totally differently, and they're not tailoring the treatment to the individual. They're trying to kind of broad brush everybody with the same kind of, okay, this man is this, these are his symptoms, here's the pill, take it.
They've made some mistakes. They have our intentions. They have our best
interest at heart.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
They've just made a couple of mistakes.
They're just imperfect. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
There's been some missed opportunities.
Hey, man, when I get
you're just
sick,
trying to help them find them.
Pharmaceutical treats that I can get when I get sick.
Oh shit! Look, we were in Disney World back in 2014, and I could have sworn I had torn my meniscus or something. I thought my knee was fucked up. I had a brace on and everything. And we're standing in line, and I just started stretching my hamstring for no reason. But I started to feel like I felt it. It started to just kind of do this thing where like I could feel it unlocking. Right. That pain, or it was just referred pain around the front of my knee. I could have sworn I fucked my knee up. If I had got
I wish I was
X-rays
there. I would have put you in a figure 4. I would have put you in a figure 4.
No, but if I had gone to the doctor and said, "Hey, I think I tore my meniscus," I'd have gotten X-rays. I'd have gotten all that whole battery. They'd have probably set me up for an MRI and all this other kind of shit. Next
I
thing you know,
wish I was there to kick
surgery.
you in your knee like Ric Flair.
The amount of
put you in a figure 4.
Why do you always fucking come at me like this? I don't understand. What did I do, McLovin? Fucking McHayton over there.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Nah, Chad, but I totally hear you, man. The amount of just like misdiagnosis and misinformation I've received from health professionals over the years.
Mistakes, yes.
Excuse me, mistakes. Like one time, like my shoulder, I had frozen shoulder, right? For like 3 months. And I went to the doctor. He just kept telling me to take Motrin. I'm like, bro, like there's something wrong. He's like, I'm not really, you don't have a torn rotator cuff, blah, blah, blah. I paid out of pocket, went to, somebody like your sister. He had me fixed within like 2 sessions.
Right.
He's like, oh, this is all locked up. You're whatever,
Yeah.
Whatever was wrong.
Man, you've been watching too much. You've been watching too much Karate Kid, man. You went to Mr. Miyagi and shit.
Yeah. Better off than the motion.
That's true Eastern medicine.
Word up. Let's switch gears here. Let's talk about the sports podcast real quick, just to give everybody run the show. It's about to have everybody talk about the sports podcast. Let's talk about.
Hey, you good on time?
Yeah, I can stick around.
Okay.
All right.
My bad.
We're gonna talk about sports podcast. We're gonna talk about shout out to the mods, Ebony in the building, Ebony holding us down, Chad Lemoyne, Brody McFarlane, Natasha K. Lean, Waste of Talent podcast. Check it in. So yes, we're going to talk about the sports podcast. So make sure everybody go subscribe to Jianchor. Jianchor podcast on YouTube. Then we got to talk about. This is our second to last show, so next week is our last show. So we're gonna talk about that and our new announcement for our segue into a new space. Sports podcast. I was listening to it today, and I think I ended halfway when y'all was arguing about it was after the OK Boomer segment.
Yeah.
What was y'all arguing about again? It was Jonesy was talking about that Seton Hall. That Seton Hall talent.
The Rutgers, how Rutgers is never going to be good.
And so Ant said if Karl Anthony Towns went to Rutgers, what was you saying?
Nah, Jonesy said it because we were arguing. Like I was saying, how the Northeast college teams have a very tough time retaining talent and keeping it here. All these kids from New York and New Jersey, they go to all these big universities down south or in the Midwest, and nobody stays home. So I was saying it's a shame that we can't get somebody to stay home and, turn up Rutgers, turn up Seton Hall, turn up St. John's.
Besides Quincy Doobie.
Exactly. So Jay brought up, he was like, so you're telling me if Karl Anthony Towns, who's from Piscataway, he was the number one high school player that year, number one ranked college player. He was like, you're telling me if he were to stay at Rutgers, that he would have an impact there. I said yes, and Jay said no. He said that he wouldn't be able to turn around.
See, that was what was that's what had me confused. I didn't know where y'all was trying to go with that. Like, you gotta define impact.
Yeah, like
is we talking about emotional impact? Are we talking about ticket sales? Are we talking about is he going to get more kids to enroll in Rutgers? Like, how are y'all measuring this?
The way I'm measuring it is like, okay, that's one player goes to a program that really doesn't have a huge history, right? What winds up happening is, he's there, he's great, but how great will he be with no talent around him and nobody fucking paying attention? Like, impact is Zion Williamson going and being a cultural icon because he went to the right program.
Where'd he go, Duke?
Duke.
Yeah.
How much bigger of a program could you go to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like one player does not make that kind of impact. Like when we talk about in this area, guys who like went to St. John's, it wasn't the school, it was the conference that got the eyes on people at St. John's and Georgetown because all of those schools drove college basketball at that time.
Yeah.
When the Big East was big, when we were little, when Patrick Ewing was there, when Mullen was there, and all of that. I named all that stuff.
Chapel Hill and Georgetown and
no, Chapel Hill is in the ACC, but I'm just saying like Syracuse, Georgetown, Seton Hall, like all of them old Big East schools, them rivalries. It's really Villanova. That's what really drove. That's what drove those schools in New York to be relevant. But in Rutgers, us being next to New York, right, and us being an afterthought, and us being in the biggest sports market in the country, college athletics is always going to play the back burner. You can have a dynasty in the New York, New Jersey area, and it'll never play the way that the Yankees play on television or the New York Knicks. Even a bad Knick team will have the public's mind space more than a dynasty here in college. We're not a college sports.
And so what are the youngins? What's the youngin argument?
They always think the internet could solve everything.
I disagree. I think if you have one prominent person who goes to that school, that could change a lot of things. That could make it
like what?
That can make a kid who's 2 years younger and is getting highly recruited. If he sees Karl Anthony Towns killing in the rack, everybody from Jersey's going crazy, everybody he grew up with, his family and everything, and they're actually good. Yeah. Jay's just assuming they're going to be bad. I think there's a possibility he could be good.
Especially basketball. Football, it's a lot harder because you have
I would
so
say
much
football
more
is,
volume and talent to make up.
I think football's a lot harder, but somebody's basketball, one person can change a team. So all of a sudden, if he starts killing at Rutgers and Rutgers is nice that year, maybe a young kid who's in high school stays home. And he's the next guy who stays home. That's why I made
the evolutionary argument. It's a mutation in an evolutionary process.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who got the charts on best parties?
Listen, I get it, but that's what
I'm just asking you. I'm just asking you a question. Which one of these colleges throw the best parties?
It ain't Rutgers.
Ole Miss, Florida.
Ole Miss, Florida, okay.
LSU,
but that was
LSU,
my that was my first initial point because I said if you go to Rutgers, a lot of these kids, their classes are 25, 30 minutes away by bus. Like that's not that's not fun.
That's not fun.
When you go to Clemson, roll out of bed and walk to class. In 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Schematically, it doesn't make sense. And then you get all of these chicks from up in the Northeast fucking smelling like cigarette smoke. and you know what I'm saying? With tats, tramp stamps and shit. And you could go down south and get a little fucking a little princess. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who got the best women?
Everybody's blonde down south too.
Who got the best weather?
It's the weather. Matters. They get to go to the beach every weekend. No, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ant. I feel you. I wanted to rock with you, but I'm going with the boomers on this one, man. I really feel like if I was young, like I'm chasing the parties and the beach and the TV viewers.
Listen,
I think in order for it to work for Jersey, you would need a family. You know,
the balls to go there.
The baller brand to go through Rutgers.
Yeah, you would need a whole like family of just sick ballers that like every year they keep going there and they get their friends to go there too. And you start having, remember the Fab Five? You start having that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need 4 dudes to be like that play AAU. They like, yo, we going to Rutgers.
Word.
All of us.
Right.
We going and we going to kick everybody ass. Now, that's different. You can't have one guy go.
Nah, one guy, he go.
But nowadays, that's what kids do. They say, yo, we both going to Kentucky.
That's not what you said, though.
No, you said Carl Anthony Towns.
You said one player.
I didn't say Carl Anthony Towns. Jonesy said Carl Anthony Towns.
Okay, you're right. He did bring up
I did not bring it up, bro. I did not bring that up.
Bro, who's the best
who could do it
to come out of New Jersey in the last 15 years?
Best out of
Carl
Jersey? D-Wag, right? No.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie, yeah.
But Kyrie, like I mean,
you're not including him, right?
Kyrie's
like a veteran.
He played 1 year.
He got a chip.
It's Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
So it's in between Kyrie Irving and Carl Anthony Towns are the 2 best players to come out of New Jersey in the last 15 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Michael Kidd, Gilchrist.
Where did Kyrie go?
He went to Duke.
But he didn't even
Towns go.
He didn't even really play there though.
He played like 6 games or something. No, not even a year.
He played
7 games, right?
7 games. Okay.
He played the first. He played the first like 6 games. Broke his toe, and then sat out a whole season. And then he played like 20 minutes in the playoffs.
And then went to the league, right?
Yeah.
And
keep getting hurt in the league too.
Yeah.
He get hurt every fucking year in the league too.
He needs to watch Matt's podcast. Get his body right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Hotep anyway, isn't he?
Not one of them guys, like anybody that's ever come out of Jersey has been worth the shit. They don't ever consider staying here, bro. It's like if you come up here and you know, bro.
Jonesy, here's the problem. Ant ain't from Jersey. He don't know how trash this place is.
Yes. Bro, I live 10 minutes from Jersey.
But you on the other side of the bridge.
I'm in Jersey all the time. I'm not from the city,
It's
bro.
on you, Ant. You got to find a 6'3" girl and have like a whole slew of kids and run them all through Rutgers.
I live by North Jersey.
But you on the other side of the bridge, though.
No, I'm not. I'm on the Jersey side of New York.
Huh? I'm on the Jersey side of New York.
See, that's the problem with people from Jersey, bro.
West Milford.
You talking about West New York. That's basically New York. We ain't talking about up there.
Nah, we talking about little area down here.
Yeah, like you talking about Rutgers. If you up there, you going to New York schools. You looking at New York schools, NYU, Syracuse.
But what you guys are saying, that was my first initial point. That's what I was saying. I was like, Rutgers campus, like, if I'm an athlete getting recruited there, I'm like, oh man, I got to take a.
Yeah, you know, who wants to go to fucking down there? Nobody wants to take classes.
It's ass, bro. We're going to go to the Stress Factory this week. Nobody gives a fuck. Man, come on, bro.
Jersey's really trash. Should close at 2:00. Yeah, the laws don't let you do nothing.
But that wasn't my point.
What was the point?
I'm saying if somebody actually stayed here, it could create a change. And I agree with
because that's one
But then
guy.
you only got 4 years to change the whole like entire culture.
only have one.
It don't
Like
have to be
good.
4 years. It could be 1 year.
The
1 year,
reason
you
is
think you could
that-
change the complexion of New Jersey in 1 year?
No, but I'm saying it could have a change.
It could. That,
Bro,
so
that's
he's speaking of the Doctor Strange anomalies. You know, where Doctor Strange goes through every single possibility. There's that one.
And one Iron Man has to
No,
die.
I'm agreeing with you guys. That was my first point when we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
I literally said these other campuses are way better, and that is the problem.
That is the problem. That is the problem. That is the
So
problem.
I'm gonna
totally
ask you
agree with
something,
you on
Ant.
that.
And you get Division I looks, right? Would you even stay in the Northeast?
Oh hell no, I'm going to Miami.
God, give me a fucking break then, bro.
No, I'm just saying, bro. We need one hometown hero.
Your hometown hero, you like, yeah, fuck you, hometown. I'm out of here. I'm trying to fuck some Cuban girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, here goes some next level shit. Shout out to Steph Colonel, $5 super chat. He said Rutgers mandated the 1-2 as a requirement for the for the tuition. Yeah, that's true. This is what I'm saying. Like Jersey's really like whack. It be really doing some real weird shit, bro.
Too much
Like,
bureaucracy and bullshit, bro.
yeah, the politics up here is the worst.
Maybe we
yo.
should have chosen a different
And you don't
college
get
besides
and real
Rutgers.
rap.
I mean, bro, as far as politically wise, New York and New Jersey are almost one and the same as far as that stuff goes.
But
And
at
the
least with the
crazy
city,
shit
you
is-
could go uptown at 6 a.m.
Yeah, true. You get
true.
pizza and shit and all that. But Dig, you know the problem is when you go down south, right? You get canonized immediately if you're a star player down south. If you're a star player in Alabama, you are a legend there forever. Like Vince Young, can go back to the University of Texas, bro, forever. And he's God there, bro. They don't treat you like that up here, bro. They just don't. Like they don't even treat the great
That's true.
players,
There's too much going on up here.
pros like that. They it's almost like up here they're looking to tear you down. Yo, bro, Patrick Ewing had a fucking person stop him at Madison Square Garden and ask him for ID. You fucking kidding me, bro?
This
Who's
is
that dude?
true.
Like
That
8
did
foot
happen.
tall security guard? Yo, some
Pat was sick.
motherfucker actually said, you better go ask Mr. Dola who the fuck I am.
That's my point. We need to
Patrick
change.
Ewing,
We
bro.
need to change the culture up here, bro.
All right, we about to switch topics. So everybody go check out the Jianchor podcast. They talk about sports. I can see it's very passionate conversations. I like the podcast. I love it. So we're gonna make that the premier product happening on that channel over there.
Yo, Coach K, I got to run, but I appreciate you guys having
Call this man Coach. Hey,
He's recruiting the All-American White Brotherhood over here.
Hey man, mama ain't raised no fool. All right, brother, have a good one, yo.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I look
man.
forward to contributing.
All right, make sure y'all check out Matt, yo.
Thanks for hopping on, bro.
Steph
Thanks,
Colonel, appreciate you. How are we gonna do this? All right, let me
Just be in both spots.
fix this up if I can.
Not for nothing though. That was the first time me and Jay really disagreed on a topic, and it was like
Yeah, I was going at it.
pretty organic because we got really sidetracked too. That wasn't even
Yeah, I
supposed
got
to be
real
It
sidetracked.
Wasn't supposed to be. Yeah.
yeah, I know.
That was the best
Chad
part
threw
of
us
it.
up.
It was a shit topic week though. Like nothing fucking happened that was worth. Like it was so. It was
Yeah,
such a
July is
weird-
always
so
pretty,
slow.
pretty sharp.
The only pushback I will have is that even if it's a shit topic, we got to be prepared. And also, we can never go into a realm where we talk about turtles on our fucking podcast again.
Turtles.
Bro, I said turtle once at the very end of the show.
Listen, never talk about turtles unless we're talking about the Ninja Turtles. Get that straight. No turtles.
Okay.
So make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast. They're getting that shit situated. Shout out to AG on the podcast too. So next week is our last episode of my channel. So we're gonna do something different because I felt like there would still be a void by not having these weekly meetings. And I said, how can we still grift our meetings in a way that would be more impactful, because we know like people really don't want to come to YouTube to really like hear about business unless it's like a tutorial, right? So how do we do that, right? Like, how do we? So I was like, yo, let's do Twitter Spaces. I was like, yo, that's a good idea, because we can start growing the different accounts. Yeah. You know, we can start interacting with people. People can come in, and plus, it's a good way to exploit the Twitter Spaces and use it in a meaningful manner. So I popped that idea in the chat. The guys loved it, and I can't wait to execute on that. I think that's gonna be real dope. So you'll be able to interact with us, and we'll do our meetings like that, and we'll bring whoever can make it from the Jianchor team, right? All the contributors can hop on the stage, and we can speak to everybody, sort of work through things, and allow people to engage with us. So I think that's a great transition for the brand. What y'all think?
I love it, man. I've been actually jumping in a lot of different rooms with a lot of different influences, and it's been growing my account a little bit, like slightly. You know what I mean? But and it's not like the kind of growth that is just in a vacuum. I'm getting followers that are real substance. You know what I mean? Like really on brand. It's a great way to reach out to people. Quality followers, bro. And I think that'll be great for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just got to make sure that we. I'm sorry.
No. I think it's dope, man. At first, when they first implemented it, I kind of didn't really know what was going on. I thought they were just like kind of grifting off of Clubhouse's vibe, which I guess they were. But they've become very popular, and I didn't think it was going to get that popular. But I always see people, talking about different subject matter. And these rooms can get really, really crowded. I was saying to these guys the other day or yesterday on the podcast, like people were arguing over Kevin Durant because of something he said. He's always like going back and forth with the fans. All of a sudden, KD actually hopped into it and was like, "Yo, what do you guys have to say? Like, I'm here." And it went from like 2,000 people to 25,000 like this.
Yeah.
So it was just crazy. Like once I saw that, I was like, "Oh, like this could really be something." So
yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, Twitter Spaces is a powerful tool. It's going to be very powerful. Twitter. Did you see tips? Did you see they added tips?
Heard they were doing it. I didn't see that they had done it yet.
Yeah, I got a prompt today to tip somebody's account.
Okay.
Yeah. So look out for that. But yeah, I think that's dope. Something we should do. Maybe we could do it, right around the same time. Tuesday, 8:00 or whatever works with the team. But I think that would be super dope.
It's more,
and then we can let the conversation take itself where it goes.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So cool. Let me check the numbers. That's one thing I didn't do. Right? Normally I do the numbers. Let's check the numbers. Jianchor. I'm looking at the Google Analytics. I believe I'll change the date the past week. I'll go last Sunday, the 11th to the day. Right? Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. Let's see what's happening here. Site content on pages. All right. Conor McGregor. What's this? This is Chad Lemoyne.
So one of our episodes.
Yeah, that's one of our sports podcasts.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 10 is as international basketball caught up. That was
AG.
with AG, Adam Gallagher. How to pick a computer for your own business. I already know who that is. My man KD Repair, Kamar Daniels. Columbia, Expand Your Horizons.
DT.
Who?
DT Dakota.
DT. Ayahuasca, My Spirit Journey. Damn, Billy getting into some hippie shit right now.
Yeah, that's Andy.
Andy Eversole. I love it. I love it.
All right.
Billionaire Network, Dax Hill. I think that was number 5. 4 reasons. This is YouTube evolution.
Yeah.
4 reasons Linus Tech tips. Linus Tech says mastered YouTube marketing while wearing sandals? ? Halima coming in big. You wrote the review on my book here. That thing is charting.
Always kissing up to the boss. God, dog.
4. She's at number 4 here. I love it.
Shout out to Halima.
Shout out to fucking Halima. Amazing work. Youth is wasted on the young.
It's also DT Dakota.
DT Dakota. Invest is number 2. Investing, the importance. Ryan CPA.
That is, yeah. So that's our newest writer. That was his debut post. That was today.
Oh, was it?
Shout out to Ryan. Yeah, that's another. And shout out to Ant. Ant brought Ryan in, so he's going to be one of our money writers.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He knows his stuff, man. He's legit. He knows his stuff, man. He's all about the tax code, especially with the real estate. He's a young guy, so.
Yeah, this is amazing work here. I'm looking at it now. This is amazing work here.
Yeah, it's a really good breakdown.
He's at number 2.
Yeah.
Over past week. And that just dropped today.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then
I hadn't even tweeted it yet, and it already had like 15 shares this morning. Like I hadn't even put it out. Like I don't know if he got it and then started sharing it as soon as it published or what. But like as soon as it dropped, I went to share it in the chat or whatever, and it was already at 15 or 20 shares. So it took off.
Conor McGregor, number 1. That's the sports podcast. So that's good stuff, man. Sports podcast, obviously, you start plugging into some of those hot topics, business flows through. Good stuff. So I got you. I got anything else?
No,
I'm good.
Everything else is internal shit. Like, how we can try to, grow the page and stuff and be more laser focused on, having engagement on the Jianchor channel. But other than that, I have nothing, man.
Yeah, make sure y'all go subscribe to the Jianchor YouTube channel. Miles will drop that link, and actually it's right there. Shout out to Ebony, Garland, Lisa coming through. Big shout out to everybody in super chats. Michael, Metro, Steph Colonel. They're not grifting. I'm Hotep Jesus. What's today? Tuesday. Tomorrow night I'll be on talking with Wendy O. We're gonna be talking about
I'll be there.
My man. What was I talking about on Twitter today?
Sculpting your woman.
Sculpting your woman. Yeah, we're gonna break that down for cats. You know what I'm saying? Because Cass is missing the point. I would say most understood the point. One person asked me and said, does it go, the other way around? Obviously. Obviously, I think where people get wrong is they don't understand my rule is like I kind of don't want to give women too much advice. I give men advice, and if women can learn from it, great. But I think I don't overstep my boundaries. I stay in my lane. I talk to my demographic. I talk about what I am. I don't know what it is to be a woman. I could never know what it is to be a woman. So, I let them do them, and I exist in my world. But I talk directly to men. And sometimes people, to take offense to that. But again, maybe that's why they haven't been picked. Anyway, I'm Hotep Jesus. This has been another Jianchor episode. See y'all next time for the last episode 33 next week. So, I let them do them, and I exist in my world. But I talk directly to men. And sometimes people, to take offense to that. But again, maybe that's why they haven't been picked. Anyway, I'm Hotep.